All right, I just got done watching a nice video that you can see. It's kind of a moderated discussion, some might call it a debate between Dr. William Cromwell, Dr. Brett Scher, and Dr. Nadir Ali. Two of them are cardiologists. One of them is a lipidologist. Dr. Cromwell is the lipidologist, and he's considered one of the leading lipidologists literally in the country. And it was a good discussion around this whole concept of lowering LDL cholesterol, the causality of LDL cholesterol, or ApoB, or whatever lipoprotein biomarker you choose to utilize, in regard to its contribution to heart disease. And what eventuated from that conversation was basically that it's very nuanced, and there is room for discussion. There's certainly room for nuance, and that we shouldn't have a very sort of just all or nothing opinion on that. And that's kind of the message that I hope I've been sort of putting forth over the years that I've talked about this. Look, there are many things that go into the causality of heart disease, and to be honest, pretty much all disease for that matter. And I think that by having this sort of concept that cholesterol has a part of the role of the process, but there are other things that may be more important in some situations, or certainly modify that risk in many ways, is an important concept to understand. And I encourage you guys to watch the debate in its entirety. There are some good questions that were put forth that they answered, which I think gives me a little bit of sense that hopefully we'll see some of that nuance that's needed around this topic. Now, again, these guys are all on this side. They don't have the diehard zealot-like lower cholesterol at all cost group in there. So there's that. So this isn't a broad, diverse spectrum of all thought on the topic, but I think it is a fairly nuanced conversation. And again, I'll just say this again: if your LDL cholesterol is higher, ApoB is high, your total cholesterol is high, it may not be a problem, but it might be, irrespective of what particular diet you're on. If you are on a low-carb diet and all of your metabolic markers are doing very well, you could be in the category where it's not the issue that some might think it is. However, you can confirm that with some sort of imaging testing, whether it's CAC score, whether it's CT angiography, or something along those lines that are out there. Now, those are obviously, they cost money, and some of them are more, particularly the angiography is a little more invasive, as you have to utilize contrast dye. But I think as some of this data continues to come out, maybe there'll be less need for those things. We can kind of better identify who might truly be at risk from high cholesterol and who perhaps might not be. And I mean, there's clear data that shows it ain't the same. There's some people with very high cholesterol that never develop heart disease, and yet there's people with relatively low cholesterol that certainly do develop heart disease. And that's a question that needs to be asked and answered. Okay, guys, I know you got this. This is kind of a topic that always comes up, and I think it's an important topic. And as I've said before, what I'm willing to do with my own body, as far as, do I care if my cholesterol is high? Yeah, I actually do. Am I doing anything to significantly lower it? That's a different topic, right? But what I'm willing to do and take risks for myself, I'm not willing to just say everybody should do that, right? It's not fair. And I hope somebody wouldn't do that, because, like I said, I do things that most people don't do. I train kind of like a maniac, and there's other things I do to mitigate that stuff. I'm very, disciplined in my lifestyle for the most part, and not everybody is. And so it's kind of one of those things that I don't know the answer. I wish I did. I wish more people would say they don't know, because a lot of people seem pretty certain about things. And I think there's a lot of things we don't know. There's a lot of things we kind of know a little bit about, and we pretend to say we know a lot about those things, and we become the quote-unquote expert on something that I don't think anyone can be an expert in. All right, well, again, another day. I've got kind of a tomahawk ribeye, and I just put it in the sous vide. Just gonna let that guy go for about 4 hours, and then I'll be consults, meetings, podcasts, typical day. Got a workout going in here. I'm hopefully get after on the rowing machine today. I've got some sort of goals in mind, but I've got to just kind of get psyched up about it. And this is something I think about all day. Just kind of thinking about the effort that I'm gonna have to put forward. It's gonna be pretty hard. But anyway, you guys have a great morning. We'll talk to you soon.